Hey, what's up? It's your boy Complete, and you're watching Take Flight.
Hey, yo, what's good? It's your boy Wings and 24 Karat Kev.
Hello.
And you're tapped into the Take Flight podcast, bro. Today, this artist made their way all the way over from Perth to 6K.
Yes.
Just back off a UK tour.
Woo!
Complete in the building. Let's go, bro.
Yes.
Let's go.
Thanks for having me.
Bro, welcome,
Good to
brother.
be here, yeah.
Welcome. Right, bro. The reason you're here, other than to come and see us fine gentlemen, we heard you played a wedding last night, bro.
Yes, I got booked for a private wedding, and it was a very interesting event, and it was sick. It was like a gig, man. It was.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be very awkward, especially with all the swear words and some of the song requests were some of my more darker songs. So I was like, man, there's going to be kids and older relatives. But everyone got into it, bro. It was like a mosh pit, and yeah, it was crazy.
At the wedding, was there a point where you played at the ceremony, Bloodstained Nights, as they walked down the aisle by any chance,
No,
bro?
just at the reception, but we did like Mr. Nice Guy and Jordan, so some full-on
There's
tracks,
some impactful
bro,
tracks for a wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, people like what they like, bro.
And it's a couple of them are breakup songs, so it was, I was like, shit, how's this gonna go? But they loved it, man. Like, shout out Simone and Glenn, congratulations, thanks for
Shout out Simone and Glenn, bro.
Congrats to you guys.
Absolute beast, bro. Bringing you over. That's hectic,
Yeah,
man.
no, it was sick, man. Fun. And we went to Newcastle the night before with Draft as well. It was the Cambridge's final
show.
Final
as
show.
they're going to shut down.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. It was huge. So, good fun.
Everyone looked like they killed it out there too, bro.
Yeah,
We're
bro.
just talking about that off camera, but
Oh, it was crazy. It was pretty surreal, bro. You're just walking through the hotel lobby and you're just seeing like so many different artists and their teams that
That's awesome.
you don't usually see, really.
bro. Even down here, man, everyone's spread out, so it's good to have them all in one
Yeah.
place.
No, it was cool.
As I mentioned in the intro, bro, you just got back from the UK.
Yeah.
Right, you came back. All right, I got it written down here because I knew I wasn't going to remember. Places like Prague, Helsinki, Oslo. Very rare for a hip-hop artist from Australia to branch out and hit those places in the UK, right?
Yeah.
How was it performing in the other side of the world, man?
Yeah, it was mental, bro. So how long were that? It was about almost 2 months, bro. UK and Europe.
Yeah.
And yeah, the UK shows were a bit bigger compared to the Europe ones, but even with the smaller shows, bro, just the energy.
Yeah.
It was crazy energy, and it was funny, bro. Like they'd know all the words and stuff, and then we'll talk to some of the fans after the show, and there's like not really any English. So it's like they've memorized the song lyrics, but besides that, it's English is obviously a bit hard to understand for them. So it was funny trying to communicate using the Google Translate and all that. And, but it was great, man. It's crazy and surreal to know that there's people listening on the other side of the world that, you just don't think that when you're here. You're not like, oh, someone's in Prague right now listening to one of the tracks.
Bro. Yeah, 100%, bro.
That must be a special feeling as well, because I've always said that Australian and English is two completely separate languages. It's like, imagine someone hearing Eatswire in a song,
Right.
and then they're looking it up on like Google Translate. They're like, just no results. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
The slang is very different. It's funny trying to learn some of it. We pretty much just watched Top Boy a lot and
Was there any-
one.
Was there any standout moments from over there, bro, for yourself?
Oh man, there was a lot. Just even at London, I kind of had to like take a second and go, fuck, is this actually happening? And like Mike Righteous came and supported, who's like one of my favourite artists of all time. So that was surreal too, having him there. And
Have you linked with him in the past, or was this the first
I
time?
supported him when he came to Perth.
Okay, all right.
But
yeah.
that was the only
That
time.
was a while ago, though, right?
That was a while ago. But we just kept in touch on like Instagram and that, and just
Now he's
real
supporting
recognised
you.
Real.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
great.
man, he just did it as a favour. He just
Legend.
likes the music, and yeah, it was sick, man. I'm trying to think what else was another standout, man. There was lots of just stuff, not even at the shows too, just seeing crazy shit that, we never thought we'd see. In London, seeing Big Ben and all that. Trying to think, what else?
Did you come back inspired as? Because I know every time I seem to go overseas, I seem to come back like ready to go or ready to do something different, bro. That's one thing.
Definitely, but I've been knackered, bro. So I got back on Monday.
Yeah.
I stayed in Perth for 2 days, and I was on like Dubai time, so like the jet lag's been real, bro. And then 2 days back on the plane to Sydney, so that's 2 hours ahead. So I don't know what fucking time it is.
It's Sunday at about 2 o'clock, so work rate crazy, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. Oh,
But
good on you, man.
it's been great, man. But yeah, definitely inspired, and just want to keep traveling and keep making music and seeing where it takes us.
Amen, bro.
hey, got to keep traveling for Simone and Glenn. Shout out to you guys again. Congratulations.
For sure.
So we just talked about, you being able to tour not only the UK, but all these places all over Europe. A lot of places, not so much English as the first language and stuff like that. And I think that's one of the real big challenges for rappers from Australia, taking that next step outside of Australia, breaking international markets and actually touring there. So From your own experience now, how has that journey been for you, and any tips for upcoming artists to do that?
Man, so I think I got pretty lucky. So my song Jordan, obviously when I released it, it kind of went viral in Australia, which was sick. And then just randomly a few years later, people started putting it on TikTok, not even me. And at first I was like, what the fuck, they're using my song? Getting all these likes and stuff. But it kind of like went mega viral again. It was like a rebirth, but international this time. So, man, all these TikToks, it just like opened up a whole new fan base for me, and they all just went down the rabbit hole once they heard Jordan. Like Jordan was at probably, I don't know, 6 mil, 7 mil streams before the TikTok shit. Now it's at like 30 something mil.
37 mil, I think.
37.
It was, bro.
Yeah, bro.
37 mil,
and
bro.
that's just because it just, went on a little viral spree on TikTok, then Instagram, and it just went mental, did its own thing. So now I've gained so much respect for TikTok. It's crazy what that can do, man, that machine. So, yeah, and I think that's kind of what happened. So it's spread internationally, and then, opened me to that market, and was lucky enough, got a booking agent hit me up and said, do you want to come try this out? I'm like, yeah, for sure.
Hey, man.
So did you even have a TikTok account at the time it was going viral? Or?
Man, did I? I think... So I had a TikTok account, and it pissed me off because someone stole my handle. So I had a dodgy one, and then so I made a new one after all that stuff happened, and started using that semi-regularly.
Okay.
I haven't in a while, but back then I was like just posting random shit.
Yeah.
And I posted Jordan myself. It didn't do as good as everyone else.
Someone else posted it.
Do you remember what was the first video that started going viral? Was it just an actual cut down of Jordan?
Yeah.
Like just a normal,
Yeah,
it wasn't put over another video, it was the cut down.
No, it was the cut down. It was like, it's always that last bit, the fuck you don't know what it's like. It starts from there. It's just like the end of the song pretty much, and they put the lyrics on it and that. And it's always like some depressing pages, usually like emo hip hop and that. It's funny reading the comments, bro, because they're like, bro, I just asked for a pencil. It's turned into like a meme. Every time I see it, they always say, bro, I just asked for a pencil. Bro, I just asked this. It's funny as fuck. But it just started with that, and then other people started doing it. And
did you just wake up one morning and it was like blown up, or did you see it gradually happening?
I saw one account do it first,
and
it went like really good, and that's where I was like, fuck, man. He's got all these, like, I don't know, I think it was like over 1 million likes on it and stuff, and views and that, and I'm like, fuck, I should have put that on my account, you know? But then I think I even talked to the guy maybe, and he tagged me in it or pinned my comment or something. And I was stoked about that, and from there on it just kept happening, and I just watched it do its thing, and
It's crazy because I watched an interview of yours. It was probably about 4 or 5 years old with A Lesson. Shout out to him. And you were on there kind of being like, I think Jordan had just been released back then.
Yeah.
And you were kind of like, man, it's crazy. It's got 350,000 views.
Yeah, bro, yeah.
And then you posted on Insta maybe a couple months after that, my first video to hit 1 million views. And then last year it was like, man, it's on 10 million views and it went gold and yada, yada. And now it's 37.
Yeah, bro. And it should be platinum soon, if not already.
Hectic.
But the thing is, with Aria, it's like it doesn't count international streams.
Yeah, just
yeah.
local.
yeah. And lots of them are international streams. So I'm actually not sure where it's at now with like if it's platinum or not, but it'll happen eventually. So I'm stoked for that.
That's dope, man.
But
So dope.
long term as well, like the majority of streams coming from international, that again, very rare for an Australian hip hop artist to do. And kudos to you, man, because it's a very difficult thing to do. And having that sort of longevity in a track, like you were saying, it kind of had this moment when it came out. 5 years later, bang, it's gone off again.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
And it just proves, like, a lot of people talk about, like, you know, you post a song once when they drop it, and then you don't do things to back it up. How many years later was this that it blew up, bro? It's
about five. I mean,
Timeless.
when it happened, it probably happened like early last year. It started blowing up on TikTok. So, and I released it like end of 2017. So,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, a few years, man. And I think it's just like one of them songs though, as well. Is like everyone can relate no matter where you're from. You know, it's that just emotional, you know, stuff that people can connect to.
and timeless sound too, bro. Like, it's like not at that point. It could be played in 10 years from now, and it's
Yeah.
still going to be relatable to everyone
For
around,
sure,
which
man.
is dope, bro.
Yeah, no.
Hell
So
yeah,
very
bro.
grateful, bro. When you're writing it, you don't know what's going to happen with the song.
100%.
And so it's just been crazy to watch.
Mad. And also outside of Europe, you spent some time in the USA last year. You got up to a lot of stuff in the USA, but one thing we did love was your collaboration Instagram post with Eminem, bro. How did that link happen?
Shout outs DTG.
DTG, bro.
Yeah,
That
bro.
guy is doing some crazy shit alone,
He's
bro.
amazing, bro. He's so funny. And he's like that off camera, bro.
Right, so he's just
It's like he's living that. He's just making these multis constantly, rapping like that. And he's hilarious, bro. Very funny dude. Very skilled rapper too.
Okay.
I don't know if you've actually checked out his music, but he's really really good. And so I linked with him through my boys Mercules and Kripal. So yeah, you know, he's mates with all like the Canadian crew that we kind of chill with, and that's another story in itself how we connected with them. But yeah, and just went to Kelowna in Canada, me and Kripal, and stayed at DTG's, and he's like, hey, let's do a skit, you know, the Aussie stuff, and did it, and bro, it took off. It was sick.
Bro, that was funny as hell. But bro, why does everyone think we have shrimp on the barbie, bro? Like, when is that narrative going to end? When is the narrative going to end, bro?
Never.
I don't think it will.
I've never had a shrimp on the barbie. I told everyone over there.
Yeah, it's not a thing, bro. Your link with Mercules, bro, obviously, you have toured out here.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've done a song together. Is that where the relationship began, and what's it like now?
Yeah, so first time he came to Australia, I was the main support, and we just clicked, bro. Just like, yeah, and became great friends. He's a really good guy, obviously a dope rapper, and our music's kind of, you know, similar in like substance, I guess, like emotional stuff and bar-y stuff. And yeah, we just kicked it off, bro, and met his homie Kripal the second time he came, and yeah, we're still great friends to this day. We talk most days, really.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Awesome, bro.
That's it.
What was I going to say about Mercules? I saw the video of you guys actually on Instagram where you both copying each other's accent.
The accent swap.
That was funny,
bro.
as fuck
That
too,
was
bro.
fucking hilarious. He did all right. Mine was shit.
I'm not going to lie, he sounded Aussie, bro.
Yeah, he did, bro.
He did real well on that one, bro.
You just got to chuck cunt at the end of it, really, and you got it.
So before we go too far off the Eminem thing, by the way, for those listening, it wasn't Eminem. DTG is the guy. He replicates Eminem at home.
Yeah.
You've talked in the past about growing up on Eminem, 50 Cent, and that. Is that what it was like for people of your group, your area at home? Is that what you all grew up on?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, mostly in my age bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was probably like year 6 when I started getting into hip hop, and my friends actually introduced me to it, and it was 50 Cent and Eminem at the time. They were the hugest things in the world. The whole G Unit era too, you know.
That was my era too, bro. 100%.
Yeah. And so that was it, bro. And then I got, you know, delved into the rabbit hole, and I just had some good friends that just knew everything about fucking hip hop, and they just showed me so much stuff, man.
Yeah.
Went into Tupac, Biggie, NWA, shit, everything, bro. Even like lots of R&B.
Okay.
It was just that 2000 era, man. It's hard to kind of say what it is, but I guess Eminem and 50 Cent were the pinnacle of it at that time.
Amen to that, bro.
Yeah.
I saw the other day as well, bro. 50 Cent's coming to Australia, bro. Had that, you know what I mean? There's
I'm trying, brother.
He's doing that Perth show.
Yep.
Bro,
he's doing a Perth show.
There's no better time than now.
Bro, yeah, I've been every angle. I've been reaching out, man, trying to make it happen. So we'll see, you know, fingers crossed. And
Promoters.
yeah.
Live Nation, complete.
Yeah. Trust me,
50
it'll
Cent.
be a sick show. We're perfect for it, and yeah, it'll be amazing.
Amen, bro.
I knew you were a 50 Cent Eminem fan, bro, when you put up that throwback photo of you as a kid and you were wearing a shiny red Dada jersey.
Oh,
I was like,
fresh.
The Dada and even the Eminem Slim Shady wear and the Snoop Dogg wear that was and ice, man. Oh yeah, bro. Those were the days.
Did you ever get a pair of the G6 sneakers, the G Unit sneakers back in the day?
Man, oh bro, I know I had some. There was some Reebok G Unit thing.
Bro, that was my first cool pair of shoes ever. until they came out, I was like a Payless shoes guy. My mum wouldn't buy anything. I remember that Christmas, I finally got them. Bro, what a time.
Sneakers, bro. Yeah, that was sick.
What a time, bro.
Yeah, man.
You previously said, bro, just looking a bit back, that when you grew up, you know, you rapped about like chains, women, all that kind of thing. You know, there was the starting point. We have this conversation a lot. 360 the other day was saying something similar. He started off by rapping like gangster shit.
For sure.
At what point did you realize like, better start rapping about my own shit, the stuff that I feel? And was it a hard switch up from what you were doing?
Man, so it was kind of weird. It's like I was rapping in an American accent too, and obviously I was only like 12 or 13, man, when I started like recording or trying to on my $2 mic. And then I got hell sick, bro. I got diagnosed with panic disorder. Like I got hospitalized in that. And after that, I started writing more deep shit, I guess. And then I started also discovering Australian hip hop at around the same time. So I was like, I can do it in my own accent, you know. So I started doing that really, and because you know the popular rappers to listen to at the time were the Aussie ones, you know, the Perth boys, SPX and all that. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna rap like this, and I just kind of having that Eminem influence as well. I wanted to rap my life story. That was my thing. I want my life story. I want to tell people what I've been going through, and at the time it was a lot of shit, you know. So I think that's kind of where it changed. And I did like to fucking bar out too, though. I love the lyricism aspect of it, you know. So
for sure, bro.
When I first got sick, I was like kind of agoraphobic. I couldn't leave my house for 6 months. Okay. So I made like my first mixtape there, but not one that I released to the public. I just gave it to my friends. But 6 months and just, it was like such a time where I kind of started perfecting or finding myself, finding my sound, and just, learning how to be a better rapper. And then, it kind of went from there, bro. Did that mixtape, showed my friends, like, yeah, it's all right. And then...
Just the start, I started somewhere.
Then I started getting a bit healthier mentally. Mm-hmm. Started going out and socialising at, not even gigs, even like on MSN, I met Misk, and I used a rap battle site called Let's Beef, and I met Defect, and then we started the Psychord crew from there. And... made a mixtape together, and then I made my first solo mixtape when I was 17, Panic Disorder, which had Bloodstained Nikes.
There you go.
And fuck it. It went from there, bro. Yeah.
From there.
This is old school. You talk about MSN Messenger.
Yeah.
Shout out
Crazy.
to MSN Messenger,
You know when you
bro.
could nudge someone and this whole screen just shook? And
Yeah,
it was fucking annoying.
you can just do it constantly and piss
And I
them
know
off.
people have talked, there's memes of this online, but remember when you actually used to say BRB because you had to go to the toilet or you had to leave the house 3 hours?
Yeah.
Well, your mum had to use the phone, bro. The internet.
Turn off dial-up for a
bro.
second.
That's hilarious, bro. And you could have what song you're listening to.
Yeah.
Bro, what a good time, man.
Yeah.
Bring
I'm
it
a fan.
back. You just mentioned just then panic disorder. This was about when you were 14 years old, you said.
Yeah, that's when I got diagnosed with it. And then the mixtape, my first mixtape was called Panic Disorder when I was 17, but yeah.
Yeah, so for those of us or people watching who don't actually know what that entails, what was that experience like with that, especially at such a young age?
Yeah, so man, it was pretty fucked. It's like, it just happened one night. It was after a few drinks, and I used to smoke a lot of weed at that point and delved into other drugs. I was just kind of on the wrong path and shit. And one night I must have just went too hard or something, and I was laying in bed, and then I woke up and just, it felt like I was dying and going mental. Like, it's hard to explain. It just felt like I lost control of my whole body pretty much. So I got the ambulance, and because mum was away, I was with a chick. And I was just getting pissed and that. And I was like, fuck, I got the ambulance. And it was embarrassing too because I had a chick that was, I don't want her to know I'm fucking dying right now. But so I called the ambulance, left, went to hospital, and woke up. They had to sedate me and that, and woke up. Mum was there, and they kind of said, it was. I don't think they even said it was a panic attack. They said maybe I just got maybe like alcohol poisoning either as well. I think they had to put fluids in my body and that. And but from there, it just kept happening. So I went home, and then I think I went to my grandparents like a few days later, and I was just chilling, and then it happened again, and I just collapsed to the floor. Yeah, dropped a cup of tea and that, and so they took me to the hospital again, and that's when they said, it's panic attacks. And so I had to go see my GP, and he prescribed me like antidepressants, and I think that was just it. For the moment, it was Lexapro when I was like 14. Then I started seeing psychs and all that, and but yeah, it was rough for a while, bro, just panic attacks every day, and that's why I couldn't leave the house. As soon as I'd leave the house, it would happen, and I'd feel like vomiting and couldn't see friends and shit, couldn't have friends over, because then I'd panic, and knowing they're there, I'd feel weird. It was just a constant circle, and I've gotten better over the years. I'm still a very anxious person, and I do get panic attacks, but I've learned a lot of coping strategies and stuff like that, and yeah, it's no fun, bro, but...
So is panic disorder just constant panic attacks or more consistent panic attacks? Is that
Panic disorder, yeah, so it would be like, it's like a... You could also say generalized anxiety is part of it. So It's like constant anxiety pretty much, and then you get a lot of panic attacks, and then like I said, I don't get as many these days as when I was younger. I think I've just gotten used to it, man. Yeah. But I am fucking anxious like constantly, and I do have medication I take and that
to help out.
Yeah.
You mentioned some of the coping mechanisms. Is there specific things, or it's just things you've learned to help yourself?
It's lots of mindfulness and breathing exercises and stuff psychs have taught me pretty much, and also medication when needed. But I don't I try not to have it too much because I don't want to have to rely on it. But that's kind of the problem too. That's kind of why I drink so much, because that's when I don't feel anxious, feel normal. So it's kind of like two devils. It's like, should I just take the medication more? But instead of drinking, but I don't want to do that either. I don't want to get hooked on, Valium and stuff like that. So I just try to keep it minimal and
And so
also when I can.
hey man, bro.
Yeah. Congrats to you, man, because I did see an interview that you said, there's one point in your career where you're like, there's no way I'm going to be able to fly interstate and do a show. Bro. And now you're flying to fucking Helsinki and Oslo and 20-hour flights or something.
Yeah, bro. So I think it's like 46 flights now since August. Take flight. but I'm still an anxious wreck every time I get on the plane. And that's when I do have to have my meds. But once I'm in the air, I'm usually chill. Okay. It's just a takeoff and knowing that I'm going to be trapped in this thing for a few hours, In bloody, where were we? Prague or something. Sorry, I forgot where, but
that's all right.
Tiny plane. It was the smallest plane we've ever been on, man. I'm like, I don't know how we're going to do this. But it was only an hour and it turned out fine.
Well, at least you've pushed yourself to do it too, you know what I mean?
It's easier when I got people with me too, like the boys. I'm like, if we're going down together.
Hey, yeah, the boys. He's like, oh, not me, bro. Come on. We want to stay in the air.
But yeah, no, it's same thing. I've learned strategies on the plane too. I've got like things I listen to and to keep me chill. And once I'm halfway, and I know we're like halfway there, I'm like, sweet.
Let's go.
That's really important, man, as well, because I know that when I feel anxious about something, I do have, those 3 or 4 safety people that I do go to, and they're just like, just chill. Everything's going to be sweet. And it's really important to have that network, man, especially in music when things can be so fast-paced and everything, and you're away from home, and you might not necessarily have your mum or your sister or your brother there, you know what I mean? Just to have those friends there is really important.
For sure, bro. I had a few moments where I was like overseas by myself, and it would hit me like, fuck, I am so far from everyone. Something happened right now. But my psych actually said, I've got these like reassurance things. It's like, wherever you are in the world, you are safe, pretty much. There's always good people around. And if something happened, they're going to help you. So worst case scenario, you go to the hospital. Well, I guess worst case scenario, something happens and you die, but I try not to think of that bit. I mean, you can go to the
preventing
hospital.
Preventing that, 100%, bro.
Yeah. In Dubai, I stacked it on a sandboard. I was like, oh no. And I was like, I almost knocked myself out, bro. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to have to go to a bloody hospital here. And I was freaking out. And then I Googled it. It's like the best hospitals in the world. I'm like, I'll be right. I don't even go to the hospital. But if it gets worse, I'll go. It'll be sweet. Yeah.
No, bro.
So it's good to know,
Another thing you said about the panic disorder is it did make you want to stay home a lot. Yeah. And we've heard in the past, or you've talked about in the past, how, that's how you got in touch with hip hop. You started making some stuff.
Yep.
Although at the time, it would have been a difficult process, obviously, wanting to stay home. Do you think it did help out, like, with what you've now become?
For sure. I mean, it's kind of made me obsessive with rap, It's just like because the OCD stuff kind of falls into the panic too. Because when you're anxious, you're just anxious about everything. Because it's over anxious. So you're like, if I don't touch this 3 times, something bad's going to happen. But it's also kind of turned into a gift with rapping because I'm so OCD with it. Every lyric has to kind of connect properly, and so I don't know. Yeah, staying at home for 6 months and it just turned into my obsession, bro. So it definitely helped me become the artist I am. And when I write, I don't know, man. It's just like an obsessive thing.
And that's why you can rap your ass off, bro.
Oh yeah, well, it's a fucking It's like that's why I'm saying I just released a song called "Tell Me Twice," and I kind of talk about it at the end. I'm like, I know it's mostly a burden, but I know there can be a healthy side because I can use it to my advantage in some aspects,
Hip hop in general?
In rap, especially the OCD part.
Yeah, okay.
And just it's not even just hip hop, just like I wouldn't say succeeding, but
no, that's all right.
Like having that drive to succeed and
100%,
achieve something.
Yeah,
it definitely helps with that.
Does being able to make music like help you with all these little issues you've had along the way as well?
For sure, man.
As a lot of people don't have an outlet where it comes to music, and you can put everything you've got into it. To be honest,
it's like my therapist most of the time, man.
Yeah. And the rest of the people get out there to listen to everything you put out, bro. And look, they're there to relate and love everything you do, bro. And I'm sure along the line they've helped, helped a lot of people.
And I was going to say that's what's helped me a lot too, bro. Like knowing so many people do relate. Some of the stories I hear, it's just like, fuck, that's just like my shit, knowing you're not alone in it. Yeah. I think that was a huge thing when I was young. I was like, am I the only person like this in the world? Have I just lost it completely? And now I know there's so many people that go through similar shit, And it makes me feel less alone and makes them feel less alone. So, yeah, it's been cool, man. It's like a big family wherever we go now. And
sometimes it just takes talking to people. But the issue you could talk to, the good thing is you could talk to now millions of people, bro. And you have.
For sure, bro.
You have.
And that's why we called the crew the Psych Ward too, because Defect as well, he's kind of got some mental stuff. And most of the crew does, bro. Whether it's addiction or their own disorders like bipolar and that. I won't go into it. I guess they can talk about it. But yeah, that's why we called it the psych ward. It wasn't just like a gimmick thing. It was like we all have some stuff going on, and we all kind of have similar shit we write about. So that's why we called it that in the first place.
Fair, bro.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Talking about your interactions with fans, there is, going back on Jordan, there's that great video that you posted when you played it live, and I just remember like the people in the audience, they were like just so entranced by the whole thing, but it was kind of like a mosh pit kind of thing at the same time. It was a really kind of good paradox there. And are there any fan interactions that you've had that like just genuinely just stick with you to this day? Because I know that you've done some mental health workshop stuff as well as kind of like in a mentor role. Is there anything that's really, really stuck with you?
Oh man, yeah. So there's been a few crazy experiences, but this one's a happy one. It turned happy. So I won't say names or anything, but this one fan was she messaged me on Facebook, and she was about to kill herself. She was sending me photos of her with like the noose and all that. And I was like, fuck, what do I do in this situation? So I found her sister on Facebook, and I hit up her sister. And she's like, all right, I'm going to go sort it out. And she's like, yeah, we found her. It's all good. And I was like, all right, good. A year later or two, she came to a gig in Cairns and was looking so happier and healthy, and just kind of said thanks and that. And that stuck with me, man. Thinking that, and just seeing from where she was in that message to her at the gig looking much happier. Yeah, that was a moment that will stick with me.
Hey, man, bro.
She came with her sister too, the one that...
Oh, what a story, bro. Yeah. Did it take you long to find a sister? Was that an instant thought you had? Like, because this is a panic of a time, I'm sure.
I went into the friends list and looked up the surname.
Okay.
And then that's how I found the sister, yeah. I don't know if I knew it was the sister at the time, but I just found someone with the same surname and messaged them and kind of said, you got to go help, you know.
Well, that's lucky, bro. Man. Smart thinking too on your behalf, to be honest, man.
Because it really does put things into perspective. Because like you were saying, you know, Jordan's about to go platinum. You know, you're doing all these world tours and stuff, but that's just something you can't even quantify. You know what I mean? It's just such an impactful experience. You couldn't even quantify it in terms of streams or whatever. Man. It's just like a real intense, like...
For sure, bro. And we've had similar things like that too, and it's just, every time it's just mind-blowing, you know? And sometimes overwhelming. It's like, I'll get worried, like, fuck, what if I don't check my messages and something happens, you know? But you can't just live on Messenger, you know? So, but yeah, just anyone out there though, if you're thinking like that, just know there's other options, and yeah, things can get better. Like I said with the fan I saw a few years later, and yeah.
Beautiful, bro. 100%. Big message. Big message. Bro, we took a bit of a deep dive into music the other day. Why not? Your song, why not? We had to, bro. You're making your way from Perth. We had to have an even bigger listen than before. On your song Dad, bro.
Yeah.
You express your resentment towards your father. Yeah. Kind of. You also question whether his genes are going to make you end up like him throughout the song.
Yeah.
That's the vibe we got from it. Something you briefly touched on in Jordan as well.
Yep.
How have you handled having those complex feelings towards someone as close as your family, bro?
Oh, man. Well, yeah. So my dad, I don't really know him, you know, just like probably met him a few times when I was young. And the memories I do have of that were kind of fucked up. I remember him, like, as I mentioned in the song Dad, he kind of just showed me, like, do you remember rotten.com?
Yes, I do.
He just pulled that up, and I'm like a kid, and he just showed me photos of dead bodies and shit. And he was like a journalist apparently or something. And he was telling me how, like, he was like, you know, overseas and people were trying to break in his hotel and he shot him in that, which is probably a load of shit. But just tell him it is shit you don't tell a kid. And then one night I was there and he was in his bedroom with his new missus or whatever. And I was, you know, just a kid, and I thought I heard gunshots outside. So I'm freaking out and I'm trying to like wake him up. And he's just locked the door, and that was, you know, it said go to sleep, whatever. So I called my mum, she came and picked me up, and that was the last time I saw him.
Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, after that, just like, he wouldn't try and make any contact anyway. He'll just like send an email on my birthday, just happy birthday, love Dad. And then one year he fucked up the date. So I replied and I said, oh, fuck you. And I think this was after the Dad track.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, fuck, you don't even message me anymore. You know, you just message him once a year anyway, so what's the point? And he's like, oh, if I raised you myself, things would be a lot different, and starts saying that he'll be a better parent than my mum, and I'm like, you dog, nah. So, yeah, he's just disgusting in my eyes, man. And so that dad track. I've actually got a track on this new album that touches on it because I won't give too much away. I won't give too much away, but one thing is he's got 2 other kids that I've never met.
Okay.
But so I kind of delve into that.
So there's more to the story.
There's more to the story that I haven't really touched on yet. But
We'll let the music do the talking for that one then.
Yeah. But he's a piece of shit, but it's all good because I feel like I got my mum's side. I'm very lucky, you know. My mum, means the world to me, and I can't fault them at all. So
shout out to the mums out there, including Complete's mum for sure.
And shout outs to any single parent that dads too, doing your thing.
Yeah, facts, bro.
For sure.
So that track came out, I think it was over 10 years ago now.
That was one of my early ones too,
Yeah, and I guess in the track you had, some very kind of aggressive feelings of wanting to handle it physically and things like that.
Yeah.
So since then, do you think your kind of like viewpoint has changed at all, or you've learned to kind of handle that part of your life differently, or?
So the song will probably sound different, but I mean, I just don't. Being able to express it in the music, that's good enough for me. I don't want to meet him. I don't need to say anything to him. I don't care about any, I'm not going to fucking... If I saw him, I wouldn't go up and punch him. I'll just ignore him and keep walking. So, now I'm older, I don't let it try affect me that much.
Awesome.
If it does, I'll write about it and then...
Push it out.
I got other issues, man.
100%. Push them to the side if you can, bro. All good, bro, you just talked about Tell Me Twice just before we talked about Dad.
Yeah.
Bro, that's your newest video, I think? That was your newest video?
Yep.
Bro, I love that video. Thanks, all right, I love you fall into the pool, kid under there, you popping back out of the waves. Man. First of all, can you talk us a little bit about that video?
Bro, that video was so hard to film. Those ocean shots, man, it was crazy. Shout out to Uncle Sam, Drop Shot Media. Like that house was an easy part, and going in the pool when the kid he killed it, he dressed up like me and all that. But and what we did, some people haven't even noticed. We got so many Easter eggs. Like when I'm walking to the pool, everything's crooked and shit around the house. And
I saw that. I noticed that.
Yeah, and then at the end when I walk back, everything's fixed.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's just little Easter eggs. Yeah. But the ocean. So we tried to do it that night after the first shoot, and we went there and it was just too dark. So we went to a different beach, and there was just rocks everywhere, and the lights were falling over. A light broke. My bro stacked it in the ocean. It was just rocky as fuck. It just wasn't working. So we're like, it's like 4 a.m. now. We're like, fuck it. Let's just come back another time. Came back another time. Another light broke, but we got the shot.
You got it?
Yeah, we finally got it. It was just in the ocean and just getting hammered, bro, by all these waves. Hoping sharks aren't in there. Because it's like midnight. And we're just
sharks
in Perth, the Perth water. And but it was worth it. You got to do what you do for the shot, bro.
The video came out hectic. So this is the point of this little bit, bro. I love your videos, bro. Thanks, you put a whole lot of effort into not only the video itself, but the ideas behind it. Look, even the little things like the crooked bits on the wall. There's a lot of thought process between that. Jordan, obviously.
Yeah.
Move Over. Even the little bit in Move Over, that little lag bit. I was looking through the comments today. Everyone's tripping out. Like I thought my internet was fucking up. I had to reply.
That was hilarious.
But you have so many videos that you just bring something different to, especially there's so many videos out there now that are just the same, repetitive, this and that. So you got a little story to each one, which is mad. Totally. Do you have a favorite one or two, bro?
Oh, fuck, man. Move Over, I really liked the video because we just did so much different stuff, and that was some of the most planning we've ever done for a video. We had to get the plane and just put a lot into it. But Move Over's probably my favorite. Roses turned out good. I really like simplistic videos, but with a little twist to them, like something creative. Even the Jordan thing, very simple, but doing this one, and it just makes it so much more impactful.
And the wide shot as well.
Yeah, the wide shot is crazy, and it just shows you like what's really happening. It's like, he's just by himself, Yeah, and I've got a good team, bro. Like Sam, actually Cortex filmed that Jordan video, but. Most of the stuff I do now is with Sam, and we just sit down and we just write kind of like a script. And, he's a genius, and I love having my fingers on all of it because I used to edit all my videos. Okay. Yeah, not so much now. Sam will do the main edit. I'll come in and then we'll finish it off together. But besides that, Dutch Courage was a cool one too. I really liked that where we set up like the call center just in my studio and. went to the phone box. I think it just looked like cinematic and I don't know. Man.
And just quickly, when you're talking about Jordan, just a random thing that I had. When you were writing Jordan, did you have the idea of this video in your head and how it was going to go about as you were writing it?
I think so. Yeah. I think Well, I knew there'd be a conversation with myself somehow, but I don't know if I already knew I was going to do that. But once the track was done, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And man, we actually spent like all day trying to get into this fucking factory to set up the shot. And we couldn't get into this abandoned place, this abandoned factory. So it got nighttime. We're like, what do we fucking do? And we just found this underground car park in the city and just did it. And it just turned out perfect. And that's funny, bro. Sometimes with videos, it might not turn out how you expect it, but sometimes it's for the best. Like you might not find the perfect location, but you'll end up at the perfect location somehow. It always seems to happen. Like what's meant to be will be. So I try not to stress too much with videos now. If something goes wrong, because it will turn out how it's meant to be, and usually it's for the best.
And look at that, how many millions of views later, bro? How many millions of views later?
I can't imagine Jordan being shot anywhere else now, That just finding that spot was perfect.
For sure, man.
I love the fact that, you're so hands-on with your music videos as well. And Mean Wings have talked about this heaps. It feels like, especially recently as, hip-hop has popped kind of like, since 2019, that kind of era, it's kind of reached a new level of popularity. I feel like the music video budgets are getting bigger, but the ideas are getting worse. And it's like, generally, it's like people are so focused on like, these really high productions and whatever, but at the end, it's like really kind of like the concept. And sometimes the concept can be so simple, but it's so effective.
Totally, bro. Have you ever seen that one? Shit, I forgot who did it, but, oh, bro.
From here? Outside?
Nah, in America, and they were saying, there's like notes to it from the director or the producer and the editor the whole way. He's like, we're meant to do this, but the artist never showed up.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that one? Who was it, man?
Yeah. 50 Cent and Chief Keef did something similar.
Yeah, right.
For Hate Being Sober. Chief Keef just didn't rock up, so 50 Cent just dropped the video 8 years later without Chief Keef in it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Something like that. But I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, it was just genius, bro. Like, they had a huge budget for the video, all this, and man, I'm spewing, I can't remember the name. If I do, I'll try comment it.
Yeah, send it through, bro. Put it in the comments, bro.
But it was just genius. They just turned it into, it was meant to be a huge budget video, and they just turned into, this is what it was meant to be, but we couldn't do it, so this is what you get. And they just it was really smart, man.
That's what I mean. Just a fresh idea. Like at the end of the day, if you have a quarter of the budget but a fresher idea, you're winning.
I think they ended up like not really spending fuck all, and it's got so many views because of that now,
Outside of the more serious subjects and videos and songs you also, have a fun time with some lighthearted ones. You had a Pokemon Go track, Pokemon Flow, go viral.
Yeah, bro.
You also, even a Job Seeker, a bit of comedic value to it.
Well, that's it.
As I watched it, bro, the first thing you do when you walk in is eat a Mentos with the packet still on. Why? Why is the packet still on, bro?
I was just taking the piss. I think I just saw it. I was like,
That's the first thing I noticed, though. So that was hectic, bro.
That's funny, man. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Growing up on Eminem and stuff, I love having the comedic aspect as well. It's fun. You got to have fun with it. It can't just be constant depression. It's got to, you got to, I like to just have fun with the words and say,
even from talking to you, I feel like it shows the two different sides to your personality as well, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also think what you said about Eminem videos, but also shout out to artists Ludacris and Nelly. Their videos were they just seem so fun all the time. Like Ludacris in Stand Up when he has the giant arms and he's at the urinal.
I was about to say that.
These videos are so funny.
That was sick back then. I think he might have been like one of the first to do that, where he actually just did an interview explaining that video, man.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking interesting. It might be on GQ or something. But yeah, it's funny. He said himself, he's like, the video, they did it and he didn't like it. It was boring. And then they did the special
added the arms afterwards. There you go. See, things just happen, bro. You have a random thought and look what it turns into.
He said something like that. I won't go to, but So pretty interesting, man.
Yeah, and rappers out there, stop trying to be so serious and tough all the time. Just have some fun and get some giant arms in your video.
Eat Mentos with the rappers on. Those little things that stand out, bro. How do you balance those two sides of your artistry, bro? Because you go from intense personal life songs, bro, intense, to comedic things that I'm sure make hundreds of thousands of people smile now from the amount of views we see.
Yeah, man. I mean, it used to be easier, to be honest, bro.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like I've got to find more of a balance. I did a song called Oblivion last year, and it was kind of like just a rapidy rap, talk shit track. And I dropped it, and I thought it was pretty fucking good. But I didn't realise I've got such a new fan base now, and lots of people that discovered me through my deeper stuff. So they're saying, "Oh, what the fuck's this?" And they don't know, like, years ago, I've been doing silly tracks for years, you know? Yeah. So I was like, fuck. But in that too, I listened back to the track, I'm like, this just has no substance. I'm just talking, I'm just rapping, you know? Okay. So now I'm like, you can still do that, but you got to have a bit of substance as well. And, yeah, find that middle ground, you know? I like to, rap your ass off, but still, you know, have something to say and make more of it. That's one thing that pissed me off about Oblivion. It didn't really have a concept. Okay. So even with Job Seeker, at least they had no concept. It was just a rap song. And I'm like, back then I was like, this has no fucking concept. We'll make a concept out of the video. So it has nothing to do with Job Seeker, the track, but we made the video about seeking a job. So now that's what it is.
Yeah, facts.
Turned it into a concept, you know? And I think that's the problem with Oblivion. It has no concept. And it was a good learning time for me, I think.
Yeah. You just mentioned about, like, you know, your fans have blown up and come, I guess, from Jordan and then other serious songs from there. Has that changed the way you go about writing new songs and even this new album coming? We'll talk about the album in half. No?
Like, the one thing was the Oblivion thing making me think, okay. It's just like, put more effort. If you're going to do like that, I should have put more effort, even though I just like, all right, big video, just make it look cool. And looking back, I'm like, it's got no replay value really, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Some people do like it because it's just rappy rap.
Some people like raps, bro.
Yeah. But I think now I just remember to put more effort, even when I do those songs. Like, make it more interesting.
Like you said,
and that's the only thing. But besides that, I'm not going to stop doing silly songs just because, you know, some people do like my silly songs, and you know, lots of them do like the deep stuff, but. It's just having that medium. I'm not going to do an album full of silly songs. I'm not going to do an album full of deep shit. I'm just going to do what I want. And I think people will connect with that, you know. As long as you're keeping it real to yourself, then that's all you can do.
I interviewed Immortal Technique, like this must have been fucking over 10 years ago. And I asked him a kind of similar question because you know how people, Immortal Technique, Jenna Mindtricks fans back in the day, you know, they were so serious about like real hip hop and this and that. And I said, how do you feel about that, you know, your fans write so hard about real hip hop? And I think at the same time, early 2000s or whatever, you know, there's a lot of the bling bling kind of hip hop going on as well. And he said, look, like I do my style of rap, but there's a time and a place for all different sorts of hip hop. For sure. You know, we can't be fucking just militant all the time, you know what I mean? We can have fun and just party sometimes too, and I think that's a really important message.
Totally, man. I agree. Yeah. True. There's room for everything. And as an artist, you shouldn't just stick yourself in one pigeonhole. You should be able to explore and do what you want.
100%.
Big facts, bro.
That's one thing I've always said about rappers that in Australia that rap in American accents. And there's always the debate of that being fake and stuff. I think it would be faker if they stopped because people told them to.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think them doing it, if they're doing it because they enjoy it, then they're being real to themselves. So if I can let them, you know, that's kind of how I look at it. But and you know, some people prefer listening to an accent like that too. So fuck it, bro. You're the artist. Do what you want.
There's a different opinion because
that's a really interesting way to put. I've never thought about it.
Yeah, and like many people don't talk about it like that these days because the debate is really divided. But usually it's. Drop the accent. Yeah. That's usually the final. But you know,
that's right. It. If I tell them to drop it, then they do it. Then they're being fake to themselves. They're just listening to me.
Hey man, like we need a difference of opinion. Facts.
Like, my mind just
facts,
doing
bro.
backflips right now. Importantly, very important question we got to have answered on the podcast. Has your beef with McDonald's been squashed?
Maybe with McDonald's, but not pickles. They can fuck right off, man.
Yeah, I feel like over here, it's the McFlurry machine never works.
Bro, that's something too. That's like a thing now. Just after 7 p.m, there's no ice cream or milkshakes.
Do you know anyone that's worked at Macca's and told you why this happens? Because it can't be broken every single time. It can't, bro.
Yeah, it can't be. It's always maintenance, but I think I don't know.
Also, while we're talking about it,
scoop.
Bring back crunchy McFlurries. I don't know. They don't have crunchy here. They might have it in Perth. They don't have crunchy McFlurries here.
I don't think we got. No. No.
Anyway, bring back Crunchy McFlurry. Sorry, bro.
But yeah, still KFC over Macca's any day.
Oh, here we go. KFC, sponsor the pod. Another very massive move you made earlier this year. Big congrats to you. You started your own imprint, Move Over Records.
Move Over Records, yeah,
move
bro.
over, move over.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
Congrats for that, man. And so how did that come about and what inspired you to kind of delve into the label side?
I just thought it was a good time to do it, man. Like, I recently signed my own deal with ADA Warner, like a distro deal, and then I just said I want to kind of do my own label too and start taking on artists, and they were keen on it. So, yeah, I just want to start kind of, just building a label, man. That's kind of what I want to do. I want to build legacy. I want to build other artists' legacies, and it's just like looking back, I guess, back to the, whole Eminem G-Unit thing, kind of watching the what would you call it, the ladder of the labels too, and just how that happened. It would be sick to, sign an artist and they blow up, and then who knows, they might sign their own artist. Who knows what can happen, depending how you do it. So I'm just excited to, start. I've been watching a lot of artists. I got lots of people to send demos in. So
have you signed anyone behind the scenes yet?
Not yet, but after my album drops, then that will be my priority to sign my first artist. But I have been watching people, and then I've got a few people in mind. So
Complete's looking for his Lloyd Banks, bro. Come on.
Yeah, brother. Yes, give me a Lloyd Banks. Let's go.
So putting your A&R hat on now, what are you looking for in an artist? I mean, obviously, I guess originality and stuff is important, but what's your kind of like a checklist, if you could say?
Man, so it's not like I'm not looking for someone like me. I'm not gonna just get a mini complete. I just want someone that's driven, very passionate. Whoever I pick, I'm gonna have to meet them first, and because I just want to know them as a person and why they're doing this. And pretty much, man, like it could be any subgenre. It could be drill. It could be grime. It could be like more of a singy, melodic rapper. Who knows? But as long as they're passionate about what they're doing and the music sounds good and I think it's good, then that's pretty much it, man. And yeah, as long as they're got their head on and are hungry, I think that's all it comes down to, how hungry they are and. Yeah, I guess the potential they show.
Complete's coming for you.
Yeah, send your demos in.
Send your demos in. Move over. Info at moveoverrecords.com.
Yeah, we'll put a little thing down the bottom, submit button. But years back, you also signed to Draft's label. Obviously, Western Australian Perth legend. So. Sure. How important was it for you back then to have someone like Draft who had, a lot more experience in the music industry to tell you how to navigate that, especially as you kind of stepping into that role now on the label side?
For sure, man. Like, in Perth, it's like always been very community-based, and we've always had SBX looking out for us. We've been very lucky with that, especially, just, coming up in the scene and business hurdles. They're always there to give advice, and we're all friends, They're like our big brothers, and Drafty, man, he's just been like there for me every point of the way, and it's been, we're very grateful to have people like that in our lives to be able to help us, especially when everything's new to us, and they've just kind of like paved the way to and given us so many opportunities with tours and shows and just like advice that we need, and so it's been good, man, and that's kind of what I want to do as well. I want to, for the next gen, and Perth is very like that. We do. Everyone's kind of close. There's no one's really jaded or anything. We're happy to help each other out as artists, and everyone to eat and win.
100.
Right. While we're talking about Draft, then talking about Perth, I have to mention Rapper Tag, bro.
Yeah.
Rapper Tag, what a beast of a Rapper Tag.
Thanks.
I wrote it down here, bro. You co-signed Perth Rappers, just Perth, Western Australia Rappers?
Western Australia.
Western Australian Rappers, you co-signed Western Australia for a minute 28 on the track, bro.
Yeah, bro.
A whole minute 28 full of artists there.
For sure.
Tell us a little bit about what it's like to be a rapper from the west side of Australia, bro, because I know it's a little bit different over there, and a little bit about what the scene's like over there right now, bro.
Yeah, man. So when I did that, it was kind of like Perth and WA hip-hop does tend to get overlooked a bit. It's because we're so far, I understand that, but even with lots of media stuff and just the conversation, Perth is not really in it much, and I was like, that's got to fucking change. So I thought, use that opportunity to kind of shine light on it, and hopefully lots of over east people checked out these rappers and might listen to them to this day, and yeah, just to show like we're doing shit there, you know. We're not just some isolated city in the middle of nowhere. We got talent, and yeah, and that was the whole idea of that rapper tag. But yeah, it's a healthy scene, man. Even right now, like so many dudes doing different stuff, and there's so many subgenres, and yeah, it's amazing, bro. Healthy, and it was cool. Everyone coming out to that, it just shows you how community driven it is. They all, you know, everyone was happy to come out for a night and spend the night with me, filming like 10 takes, walking in a cold oval, you know. So, yeah, I'm grateful to be part of the Perth scene, bro. I think it's, yeah, really, really healthy and very supportive, and it always has been, and hopefully it still will be for the years to come.
Amen, bro.
Imagine if you did the rapper tag the same as the last video and you had everyone in the ocean, like just
everyone getting smashed one after the other.
It wouldn't have went for a minute 20. There would have been like 3 rappers that probably rocked up.
I would have been there. It would have ended up like Bondi Rescue, bro. So you gave a lot of cosigns in the rapper tag. So we have a segment on the show. Give a cosign to an artist that you think people out there might not know about, might be underrated, underappreciated. Anyone that you'd like to shout out on the Take Flight pod right now?
And we know you spent a minute 28 already doing it, but is there someone who's maybe dropped a song not long ago that deserves a bit more shine right now, bro?
Trying to think. Besides, because obviously I'm going to go to my own crew straight away.
Course,
it's like
right.
all my boys, Cyclord, Omac, Dexter, Misk, Cogs, Sever, Defect, Uncle Sam. Did I miss anyone?
Keep it going, bro.
But yeah,
Drop them.
But besides my own crew, dudes like Gracie. Gracie is a young up-and-comer. He's got an album coming soon. And he's a beast, very hungry. He's been on tour with us a few times. And, yeah, I think he's one to watch out for. And, yeah, if you look up Gracie Perth or Gracie Oz online, check him out. He's
Gracie?
a beast. Yeah. He's got, like, a very... lots of kind of rock-inspired beats and just a sick flow and kind of boom-bappy. But, yeah, check him out. He's dope.
All right,
yeah.
tap in, Greasy, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Speaking of cosigns, we also saw you on Instagram. You gave a big shout out to Suffer from the Hilltop Hoods. Can you really explain the influence that guys like the Hoods had on you growing up? I mean, I know you mentioned you started getting into the Oz rap scene in Perth, but Hoods obviously being from South Australia, and I feel like in the newer generation, since hip hop's blown up, it's like they've had a whole new set of role models to look up to, like your 1-4s and your hooligan Hefters. But for you, what was it like, seeing the Hoods just smash it and still smash it to today?
Yeah, bro. So I guess when I started getting into Aussie hip hop, first it was the Perth stuff I heard because people were playing on their phones, just the underground Perth stuff, and then that's when I kind of got introduced to the rest of the stuff, and it was Hilltops, Bias B, Lyrical Commission. Those were probably Bliss and SO2. Those were probably the main ones I started hearing. But yeah, just seeing the levels that the Hoods took it to, I was like, shit, we can do this in Australia, It was very inspiring, and even to this day, the stuff they're doing, they're in Europe and UK at the moment, and I saw a lot of footage of their shows. I'm like, fuck. I was like, okay, we got to do that one day too, So, man, it's been inspiring to watch all them guys, bro, and same thing. They've always shown love to us, and they're always happy to give advice. All them crew, Bias B as well. He's like, an uncle to us, or brother, or whatever. And always had our back, and they just want to see the same shine. So yeah, it's inspiring, bro, and it still is to this day. Just watching these dudes kill it.
I think that's one thing about Hilltop, and I've had this conversation with Kevin in the past. Like, although they don't get mentioned a lot in the current scene, I guess, of what's popping around here, bro, they have done a lot, and they still do. How big are their shows still selling out in Sydney every time they tour?
It's 15,000 last time or something.
Which is huge, bro. Huge. So you can't deny the fact that they're still absolutely slaying it, and the fans are out there, bro.
That's it, bro. Yeah, I mean, they're just... No matter what, they do a show, it's going to be huge. They drop an album, it's going to be huge. They've just cemented themselves as, I guess, the biggest hip-hop act in Australia. And, because there are a little different, there's more underground stuff, but they are just... People think Australian hip-hop, especially overseas, it's usually Hilltops,
100%, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Suffering Pressure, come on the pod.
Hey, yeah, 100%. Next up. All right, there's a new complete album on the way. We've heard about it. We've talked about it. What's the status, and what can we expect, bro?
So... I knew I was going to say some exclusives, but I was like...
Hey, Take Flight exclusives on the way. Let's go.
What I can give you is we're aiming to drop late August.
Hectic.
And there's about, at the moment, 19 tracks.
Oh,
Wow.
big
Big
album.
record.
That's all
That
we-
people haven't, so I haven't released any of them yet. So just 19 brand new tracks. And there'll be a few collabs, which I can't really go into too much, but yeah, they're there. There's a few collabs.
You got
from
international collabs on there?
Yeah.
Have we talked about him on the pod today?
I don't know. No comment.
We're coming for more exclusives, bro. Oh, no, that's cool, bro. We're all excited to hear it, man. Like,
Thanks, man.
honestly, we could actually talk all day because I feel like there's so much we missed, but we'll be here for hours.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
sure you're a little bit hungover after the wedding as well, possibly.
No,
You're
just
fresh?
people knocking on our door randomly at night. That was what kept us up, but as you do,
By the way, completed the Fiddler. I don't know if anyone at home is around the Rouse area, but this is iconic to me. Fiddler's hometown.
Yeah, bro, I didn't, we just came from Rouse Hill.
Yes,
yeah.
bro. Could have asked me for a lift. Not
Bro,
far
yeah,
off, bro. Not far off.
I thought we were like, was driving here we weren't driving,
Yeah.
Uber, but we were just like, fuck, Sydney's big, bro.
Bro, so big, and it just takes so long to get everywhere, bro.
Yeah, bro, it was a $112 Uber. I was like, what
here
the
we go.
fuck?
Far out,
Yeah.
bro. All right,
So new complete album in August.
Yep.
What else is on the cards for you on the music side or even on the personal side this year? Like any goals you'd like to kick off or?
All right, so I'm touring hopefully late September. That's kind of the aim after the album in Australia. And then I'm sitting on more music. I've got like some collab stuff in the works and that. But the idea is pretty much album, Australian tour, next year, America and Canada tour, UK and Europe again, more music, Australia tour. Maybe a rural Australia tour this year as well.
that'll go hard.
And
Work
just-
rate non-stop,
And
bro.
just repeat, bro, and keep going, sign some artists and help build them, and just keep at it, bro, and see where the world takes us. But really want to try support 50 in Perth too.
50 Cent complete.
Yeah.
Come on, make it happen,
yeah.
bro.
50 Cent, Jeremiah and complete, bro. Come on, make it
What a
happen.
lineup, bro. Before we finish up, is there any last words for your fans or anyone might be watching, bro? Anything you want to get out there?
Yeah, thanks for your ongoing support. It means the world to me and my crew. It's a dream come true being able to live the life I'm living, and much love. Hope you like the new album, and thanks for having us.
Nah, bro.
on the
Appreciate
pod.
you taking the time to come through while you're out here, man. All right, that's it. It's complete. Let's
Hey,
take flight. It's
Cyborg.
24 Karat Kev. It's your boy Wings.
Peace.
We out.